Hey everyone, today we're gonna have a look at a fountain pen classic, the Lamy Safari. This pen was introduced by Lamy in 1980 and it somehow survived without major changes until this day. It's made out of ABS plastic and it has a distinctive metal clip. On the top of the cap we see also characteristic finial, and this cross finial means it's a fountain pen. If we compare that to the rollerball, it has this minus sign shaped finial. Apart from the distinctive metal clip, the cap is just straight with no taper, and the body is a little bit more interesting. It has an ink window realized through these two cutouts here, and these ink window cutouts smoothly transition to the rest of the pen body. On the top there is a marking Germany for the country of origin of the pen. Uncapping the pen reveals a traditional stainless steel Lamy nib that can be easily removed and replaced, and the very controversial nib section. A lot of people complain about the triangular shape of the section, and it's not exactly triangular because this bottom part here is round. For me, the biggest issue with the section is that it forces your fingers to be quite close together. If the section was round, it would allow a slightly more comfortable grip for people with bigger hands. Between the cap and the body, we see a black plastic ring, and unscrewing the body reveals that this is indeed a cartridge converter pen, and I'm using this red knob Z28 converter. It's designed really well because these knobs fit into the notches near the threads. There is a plastic liner inside the cap, and the edges here are nicely rounded. Size-wise, it's rather typical for a modern full-sized pen. Here it is next to a Twisby Eco, a Leonardo Momento Zero, and a Pilot Kakuno. Overall, it weighs about 18 grams with a full converter, and it posts quite well, measuring 165 millimeters when posted. It's indeed a bit long, but the low overall weight make it still quite comfortable. Now it's time for a writing sample. So the pen I'm using is the Lamy Safari with a medium nib, and the ink is Lamy Cliff, which is a nice dark blue-black ink that was a limited edition for the last year. I have to say I've been quite satisfied with all my Lamy nibs. Some people complain about Lamy nibs, but I have to say I've been pretty happy with all of them. You will not get a super fine line out of extra fine Lamy nibs, and they are a bit stiff, so if I try to push it a little bit, I will not get any meaningful line variation out of this. There are no major issues with skipping. The nib writes well in all directions. The Lamy Safari has a very nice feature. The nibs are super easily swappable. So You just do this, and then you take your other Lamy Safari nib and you just slide it on the feet, and just like that you now have a different nib size. The process isn't too messy. I do it regularly on my Lamy pens. We can also have a look at this extra fine nib. So I've decided to create a quick writing sample with all the nib sizes. The only two that I'm missing are 1.5 and 1.9 millimeter stubs. And with all the stub nibs, there is one small disadvantage. They don't make them in black. They are all this natural silver stainless steel, which can look slightly worse than a black nib on a pen like this. That being said, all of the nibs write nicely. I have no issues with any of them. As you can see, even my extra fine is pleasant to use, and for me it's fine enough. They all have a little bit of feedback that I find quite pleasant. There is no scratching. And if we take a look at the medium nib again, we can see that it is plenty wet. And Lamy nibs tend to be quite wet in my experience, which I really like. And what's helping with the wetness quite a bit, I believe, is this special feed that actually consists of two separate pieces. So what are my overall thoughts on the Lamy Safari? I really enjoy the design. That's quite subjective. I also like how easy it is to cap and uncap, and the capping makes a very pleasant click, so you don't have to doubt whether the cap is seated properly. I don't mind the clip design-wise, but functionally it's not a clip for me. It takes too much force to move. And I also really like the nibs. I'm okay with the grip section. I hold the pen not completely at the bottom but somewhere in the middle, and I find the pen comfortable to use, post-it and unpost-it. I like the material and the ink window, and I also really like how there is a notch for the converter and it stays in place, it does not rotate. I also really like the material. Even after a couple of years of use, it shows very little wear. Just don't get a Lamy Vista or one of the Safaris made out of shiny plastics, because these will show micro scratches very easily. Overall, I really think this pen deserves its cult status, despite it not being a pen for everyone. It's definitely a pen for me though. That's all. Thanks for watching. See you next time.